One essential, mind. We got to grow the mind. We got to learn about how to do things. Guys, you can send it through my office. I got about 5 chairs here in the front on this side. Okay? All right. So let's start with this not working, Brian. It's broken. Brian, it's not working, dude. It's broken.
Do it with a hammer.
And a hammer. Let's try now. Does it work? Healthy heart. It's working. Good. All right. Maybe. All right, let's talk about the heart, okay? Now, interesting thing about the heart. The heart is a muscle, agreed? Now, the heart is actually made of muscle that conducts electricity. Is that wild? I mean, it's a muscle, but it conducts electricity. It's called Purkinje fibers. They have what's called the AV node and the SA node. That's where the electricity comes in, and these Purkinje fibers conduct electricity. And you hit the AV node, the atrioventricular node, it goes lub, and then the SA node goes dub. So what does the heart do? It goes lub dub, lub dub, lub dub, right? And that's a good sound. That's what we're after. But it's the electricity that makes that heart pump. Okay? So the heart muscle is unique that it has those Purkinje fibers. Now, what organ tells the heart to pump? Hook me up. Louder. The brain. The brain sends electricity through what? Spinal cord and nerves, and then it hooks onto the heart, right? So what if you cut the nerve to the heart? What happens to you every single time? No more lub dub. With no more lub dub, you're dead. Make sense? So what is the important thing here? We have to make some connections. The brain, through a nerve, has to tell the heart to pump. Now there's 2 main nerves that tell the heart to pump. The first one is called the vagus nerve, which is the one I just demonstrated. The second one is called the sympathetic plexus. Okay? So that makes the heart pump. Now, everybody do me a favor, breathe in real deep. And blow out. Okay? What made your lungs breathe there? It was a nerve, right? But was it an automatic nerve, or did you think about breathing for that 1 second? You thought about it, right? You ever wonder why Christopher Reeves could breathe even though his spinal cord was cut? Because his conscious nerve was still working, so he could consciously think about breathing. Okay? The heart can't do that. It has to be automatic through those 2 impulses. So if the spine becomes misaligned, okay, and you put pressure on a nerve, the weight of a dime, you've now lost 60% of your nerve function. 60%. How's your heart working? You happy? Not so good. Can you imagine living your life at 40% nerve function to the heart? What's that going to... In the beginning, what do you notice? And this is the part that makes me crazy. In the beginning, you notice nothing. And so your motivation to take any action on protecting your heart is basically 0. And you do nothing about that. So what happens over time is the heart becomes weaker and weaker and weaker until you end up in a medical office with sickness and disease. So, does this look like the weight of a dime to you? Looks like more than the weight of a dime, doesn't it? So how's that heart working right there if that's the nerve to the heart? So again, you misalign the spine. What's that called? Say it. Loud. Loud and proud. Come on, what's it called? Somebody. Say it. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. It's a subluxation. That's why you come here. When you're on my table, it's the number 2 essential. Aligning the spine to get the body reestablish connection back to the body so the body can heal and all the body organs, cells, tissues, and organs can connect and be valuable and function at what percent? Say it loud.
100%.
100%. Got it? This is the most important part of this entire event. And all you guys want to talk about is supplements. I know how you guys roll. Okay? But this is the most important thing you learn. We have to understand that it's the nervous system that's the most critical missing link in making your heart function the way it was intended. Clear? So let's make that happen. Heart rate variability. Guys, that's all they're talking about now in all the research. They're saying heart rate variability is tied to cancer, heart disease, diabetes, stroke. They're saying that an unvariable heart function is creating all these problems. Okay? So the heart's ability to change its pace up and down is critical to health. Okay? Follow me? So we have to make sure, it's called the range of adaptability. The heart has to be ready to change its pace at any given moment, right? Who's been ever driving your car, and you're just kind of, you're just chilling, the windows down, and the wind blowing, you're doing great, and you kind of have your hand over the top of it like this, and you're just kind of cruising, and all of a sudden your foot gets a little heavy. Next thing you're going 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 miles an hour, and you're like, I didn't even notice. And then you look in your rearview mirror, and there's a pretty little light in the mirror there. It never happened to anybody, or just me? I'm the guy, I'm the ticket guy, okay? I'm just telling you right now, I'm always getting tickets. And that rear view mirror, when I see a light go on, guess what happens to my heart rate variability? It goes up fast, and it adapts quick, so I don't die, right? But it's a fearful event when I see that. So, heart rate variability, it's a true measure of heart disease, and all diseases is what they're coming up with. And it runs through the automatic system. The one in the upper back that I showed you is called the sympathetic adrenergic system. Okay? That's the automatic system that creates adrenaline. So when that cop's in your rearview mirror, guess what the adrenaline's doing? It's pumping, stimulating the nervous system to make my heart pump faster. The adrenergic system. Now this is the one that's considered more dangerous, because we never hear that there's, from a strictly theoretical perspective, you can have too much vagal, or the other one, it's called the parasympathetic cholinergic, which is the chill, rest, and digesting heart. When you're just sitting there watching a movie, your heart just pumping and relaxing. That's the normal heart rate. Now technically, in our society, we have too much of this and not enough of that. Does that make sense? Now, can the opposite be true? Theoretically, yes. But in a real world situation, I've never seen it. Right? Everybody has too much stimulation. So oftentimes, you guys will come in here with racing heart, anxiety, panic attacks, all these things pumping in your chest. And what I'll do is I'll adjust it in such a way to stimulate the resting system and shut down the adrenaline system. And you get off the table and say, I feel so much better, because I turned off that system and got it balanced. But it's so critical that you guys get the adjustment is the most important thing you do in this office, because it's the part that's critical, but the other parts are essential as well. But this is the one I want to spend a lot of time on, is keeping that system balanced. So this is the adrenaline system. Adrenaline is too much heart juice, makes your heart pump too fast, too hard, too quick, and that's the one that causes decreased heart rate variability, causing damage to the heart. Then cholinergic, the rest and digest system, not enough juice. Okay, so then you start to chill. But again, that's the problem, is always too much of this, not enough of that. Does that make sense to everybody? So we've got to balance this crazy system. Now, the way I set this particular program up, okay, is on your paper, all right? The way you're going to deal with this, I put the most critical supplements at the top and the least important at the bottom. Are you with me? Now, in a perfect world, everybody's rich and famous and you get everything you're supposed to get. But some people can't, so you just set your budget based upon the purchase of those products. Now at the bottom, where it says if you currently have high cholesterol, there's a specific supplement for you. If you have high blood pressure, there's a supplement for you. If you have high sugar problems you know of, there's a couple supplements there. And if you have anxiety or racing heart, as we're describing here, there's supplements to help with that as well. So again, it's in order of importance, and then there's areas of categories. Everybody clear on the supplement side of things? There's no confusion. I'll go through it again in the end. So the number one most important supplement you're going to get is cardiogenic intensive care. All right? That's pretty much the one that is the most far-reaching and the biggest benefit for the heart. Taurine is an amino acid which helps the heart pump. And when you have a heart attack, stroke, or any kind of cardiovascular problem, taurine is burned out almost instantly. So this is, you want good levels of taurine in the body. It also has cardiovascular concentrates and other things as well to optimize heart function. So the number one supplement you should walk out here tonight with is this one. Everybody should get that, period. Okay, now there's other ones that may be a priority for you as well, but this is number one, so I want to throw that up there right away. Okay, now let's talk about that. In the medical model of health, what do they think of? They don't have a model of prevention. They have a model of what? Early detection, right? Everything's early detection. We're gonna run some testing to make sure that we have early detection so you don't die from heart disease. Why don't we just never get heart disease? Would that be a better choice, don't you think? I mean, I'm kind of a fan. So we're going to learn what is causing it and reverse it. Okay? Cardiovascular assessments. Despite the efforts, billions and billions of dollars are being spent on the early detection and the answers related to heart disease. Okay? It's growing. The heart disease is growing every single year. Okay? And the current model of cardiovascular assessment is a flawed system. It's just flawed. Okay? Realize that after you have a heart attack, what is one of the first things they do? They crack your chest open and do what? They do the bypasses. You guys can speak. It's actually okay. I'm not going to yell at you. Like a church or something in here, okay?
Amen.
Amen. That's right, baby. Okay? But they're going to do a bypass surgery. Do you realize that when they do the bypass surgery, it does nothing to help the heart recover from the heart attack? The tissue is dead. You completely wasted your money. And yet they do it all the time. Why? Because it's the standard of care. Not to mention cardiothoracic surgeons make a lot of money doing it. Okay? But it does absolutely no benefit to the heart whatsoever. Okay? And all the other things they do are pretty much worthless as well. Okay? So we got to dismantle the system and fix it. Because this is not the goal. All right? This is the goal of the medical system. So we have to make sure that's not your future, and we listen closely and take action on it. Okay? Now, I left the last slide of the last program was this one, remember? So that's what I started with. I misspelled it, did you see? Okay? Read that. Does cholesterol causes heart disease? I'm such a illiterate, you know? Does it cause heart disease? Well, let's find out some stuff. Now, cholesterol is manufactured in our liver, okay? You take some in diet, but the majority of cholesterol, 99%, comes from your liver. Now, this is how it makes it right here, okay? Now, the way this works is you have the statin drugs. Now, who does not understand the term statin? That is a cholesterol-lowering drug. When you hear the word statin, we're talking about Lipitor, we're talking about Civastatin, we're talking about all the words that typically have statin in the language. Okay? So if you're taking one of those right now, I want you to get rid of it. Because it's worthless. It does nothing but make you sick. And I'm going to make my point today. Now, there's a specific enzyme that the statin drugs inhibit. It's called HMG-CoA reductase, which requires to make mevalonic acid. Now, my next question is this. Well, there it is right there. There's mevalonic acid. Okay? Who cares? Who cares? Seriously. I mean, do you care? Well, your heart cares, okay? You may not care about mevalonic acid and the production of HMG reductase inhibition and so on and so forth, but your heart does care, okay? Who recognizes this over here? I've talked about it a bunch of times. This is the energy machine inside your body. This is the way your body manufactures juice, okay? 36 gallons of gasoline for every molecule of glucose, amino acid, and fat. Got it? So that's a lot of juice. Now, the last step in this process is an enzyme called CoQ10, coenzyme Q10. So you have to have all these guys show up for work. The energy is processed. CoQ10 takes oxygen and converts it into energy. Here's the problem. Hydroxymethylglutarate, statins, blocks the manufacture of mevalonic acid. Mevalonic acid becomes cholesterol, which they claim causes heart disease, which is a fib and a lie, and we'll prove that tonight, and it blocks the production of CoQ10. So, if you don't make CoQ10, what can't you make? Energy. Everybody got that? Which means you can't make energy. So, to protect the heart, the medical research says we have to stop making energy that makes the heart pump. Okay? Think about it. Be rational. Does this make sense to you? What they're doing, does that make any sense? If you block the energy machine so the heart doesn't have any energy to pump, should you take a statin drug? I'm just asking. Okay? There's just questions you have to answer. You have to be rational. You've got to get away from this white coat syndrome. You guys see some dude in a white coat and you just think he's telling you the gospel. And he's lied to so long, he doesn't even know. Okay? So there's one step in why this is bad news. Okay? Now, you can't make energy. So the brain's going to go, where am I going to get the energy? I don't know what to do. I know, let's kick the adrenals. Bam! in the butt and make the adrenals kick up adrenaline, right? Because I got to have energy from somewhere. So guess what it does? Did I make it? I said, yeah, there we go. So what it does is the adrenal glands, by the way, takes cholesterol, which is manufactured into adrenaline. Huh. Wait a second. Didn't we just block cholesterol with the cholesterol-lowering drug? We also block CoQ10, which means we can't make adrenaline. Are you with me? Well, that makes sense. Let's block the cholesterol. By the way, cholesterol is used for what besides the manufacture of adrenaline? It makes cortisol, progesterone, testosterone, estrogen, DHEA, aldosterone, also makes vitamin D. Kind of important, don't you think? Just a little bit. And there's more stuff than that cholesterol is used for. So, question. Is your brain pretty smart? Well, maybe some people know, but I'm saying generally speaking, when you pop out of the womb, you don't have to jump. There's no class on heart pumping, right? There's no class on breathing. There's no class on digestion. You just kind of know how to do it. So the brain knows how to do this stuff. Why would the body increase cholesterol if it didn't need it? It does, right? So if you're missing CoQ10 or B vitamins or magnesium or you can't manufacture energy, so the body says, I can't make energy, let's elevate cholesterol so I can make some adrenaline. Does that make sense? See, the body always knows what to do. We got to trust that God built a system that runs. We don't have to jump around and guess. Okay? So we pull it over to this side to make adrenaline. Okay? So, push adrenaline for energy, but we have very little cholesterol. So maybe we get a little energy out of this. But what are we going to lose as a consequence? Okay? We're going to lose testosterone and estrogen. Okay? It is a science fact that low testosterone levels cause heart disease. So you've taken cholesterol, you've gotten rid of it, you've blocked the energy system, you can't make energy from adrenaline because it's so little, but you use up what you can. Now the body's on rations, you can't make testosterone, and that causes heart disease. All that to protect the heart. Remember, we're protecting the heart, don't forget, right? And so elevated cortisol now, because of the additional stress you put on the system, leads to obesity and elevation of sugar, which are two known factors to increase risk of heart disease. You following this? This is the logic that they came up with when they told us to take statin drugs. Okay? And the last thing, aldosterone drops. Aldosterone is a hormone that balances your trace minerals inside your body. And without the trace minerals, your blood pressure skyrockets, which is a known risk factor for heart disease. I don't know. This doesn't sound like a good idea to me. I'm just throwing that out there. It's just rational. Just think it through. If you understand the science, it makes sense. So what's the answer? Protect your cholesterol deficit. So, Dr. Ray, you made a big point. I get it, but I'm scared. My doctor says I got to take this junk. All right, then take it. But there's things you got to do to protect yourself. Okay? So you have to protect your systems. You have to provide the necessary precursors in order to manufacture things. So you need cholesterol deficit. DHA supports your sex hormones, right? Right here. DHA, there you go. So you need DHEA. Your adrenal glands get you through the stress, modulates cortisol to not make fat. Here you got to support it there. And let's see, what else did we say? Adrenal calms down and decreases that adrenal fatigue. So here's what the supplements are right here. Okay? You need DHEA, adrenal calm, so your adrenals can, we have to build up the adrenals. That's what adrenal calm does. It calms them down so you can use that as an energy source. And then we're going to build it up. So I'm going to build up your adrenals and take away your car keys so you stop driving so much. Pushing your adrenals. Okay? So we're going to get a bunch of gas in your gas tank and take away your car keys. You with me? Yeah. Then that will help support your adrenals to protect the heart. Because remember, the problem with the heart is the adrenergic sympathetic system, the adrenaline system. This calms down the adrenals. This helps support the adrenals when you turn them back on, and the DHEA supports the formation of the sex hormones and other hormones as well. Okay? It's on your sheet. Okay? This is number whatever. I don't know. Okay? So here's cholesterol medication. What does it do? It causes liver damage. Why would it cause liver damage? Because it shuts down HMG reductase and damages your liver. The liver's important for something else too, I forgot. Detoxification, filtering poison, so you're poisoning the body by damaging the filtering system, which is going to protect the heart, I think. At least that's the science, right? Causes neuropathy, severe joint pain, muscle wasting, atrophy. Heart failure, that's a side effect of cholesterol-lowering drugs. You go to the site and Google cholesterol-lowering drug side effects, and heart failure is one of them. Gee, I don't know, muscles of heart. I don't think that. Limit protection against cancer, depression, stops the production of CoQ10 so you can't make energy. Okay, are you with me? It sounds good to me. Okay, so cholesterol drugs increase the risk of heart attacks. That's a science fact. 114 patients with heart problems who began taking cholesterol drugs found that every 1 point that you decrease cholesterol drug increases your risk of dying from a heart attack 36%. So let's just do simple math. 4, 8, 12. That's 3. If you lower your thing 3 points, there's a 100% chance you're going to die from a heart attack. So if you're at 150 cholesterol drug to 147, congratulations, you're going to die from heart disease. From cholesterol-linked drugs to protect your heart. See, I get annoyed with this. It's just so annoying because it's facts, and I get into fights. I remember one time, one of my patients, he said, my doctor wants me to take a statin. I said, and he wants to talk to your wife, and I sent him like piles of research from their journals, not from me, okay, to the doctor. And we had a consultation there. I called the doctor on the phone. I said, here's the reasons I don't want him taking these drugs. And I talked to him. And I emailed him all the science. I said, if you can just provide me one clinical study that shows this helps, I'll let him take it. And he hung up on me. Sorry. What's rhabdomyolysis? Muscle failure? Nope. Let's break it down. Definition, rhabdomyolysis is a serious syndrome due to the direct or indirect muscle injury. It results from the death of muscle fibers and release their content into the bloodstream. Rhabdomyolysis. Who's ever seen a statin drug commercial? Cholesterol drug. Those occasional but serious side effects they talk about. That's one of them, rhabdomyolysis. It takes muscle tissue, cholesterol drug, shreds it and destroys it, and then the contents are released into the bloodstream with a damaged liver which can't filter that to protect you from the poisons from that. That sounds reasonable, right? So let's think about this. That's what rhabdomyolysis looks like. Now picture that as your heart. You all cool with that? Because that's what it's doing. So to protect the heart, you damage the heart muscle, which can lead to death from a cholesterol-lowering drug. Wow, this is making a lot of science sense to me, man. I don't know. I think I need to take a statin still. Have I made my point? I'm not done. Dangers of cholesterol medication. Statin drugs work by inhibiting that vital enzyme. What's it called? Who remembers? Come on. HMG reductase. Remember? You guys forgot already, didn't you? Okay? The liver can no longer make cholesterol and needs to use that enzyme. Problem. B. Your brain tissue is 60% cholesterol. So it's a little side effect. Dementia. Oh, I want dementia. Who wants dementia? Raise your hand high. Oh, so you already have it. I'm talking about. Okay? Next, okay? So it deteriorates the brain, which blocks the serotonin sites. What's serotonin? Which hormone? The happy hormone. And saying you get depression. Okay? Is this fun? Are we having fun now? Okay, so problem CoQ10 is an antioxidant that transfers energy from our food into the cells, inhibited when taking CoQ10. CoQ10 is an antioxidant. An oxidant is something called a free radical, which is dangerous. It's electrically charged, and what it does, if I'm unhappy because I'm missing my electron, what do? I'm going to steal yours. I have yours. And guess what? You get mad and steal Michelle's. Michelle steals Logan's, Logan steals Michelle, Mary. And guess what happens? This whole room would lose an electron and be upset, crabby, and sad. This whole room represents all the cells in your heart. What kind of a heart you got? Healthy heart. Because we took a statin to protect ourselves from this. Are you with me? Okay? So, if you have ever in your lifetime taken a statin drug, Lipitor or the others, you must take supplement CoQ10 for the rest of your life, even if you quit the statin. You'll never recover, ever. Because you'll never build up enough CoQ10 to protect your heart and help your body with all the oxidative damage and stress. You with me? So, you think the CoQ10 might be an important supplement to get? Yeah, get it. Okay? And for most people, when I run the urine profiles and the blood chemistries, most people are deficient in CoQ10. Want to know why? How many people don't take a statin? Raise your hand if you've never taken a statin drug. Okay? I'm going to tell you all something. You're all a bunch of liars.
Not me.
You know why? It's in our water supply.
You know what?
Because what happens? The people that are taking the statins pee in the same toilet and it goes to the same water supply you go to. That recycles itself back into your shower, and you shower and all that gets absorbed into your bloodstream. So why do you think we have such a CoQ10 deficiency in this country? I don't know. Maybe it's because of statin drugs. Number one selling drug in the world. I'm sorry, guys. This is ridiculous. So CoQ10 is on your list. Okay. No, it's not going to go. It wants you to buy CoQ10 so bad. Okay, so what is cholesterol? Cholesterol is a soft, waxy substance made by the liver. It travels through the bloodstream in two components, low-density lipoproteins, LDLs, and HDLs, okay? The good cholesterol and the bad cholesterol, which is no such thing. It's just cholesterol, okay? Cholesterol is needed to manufacture bile. Now, wait a second. What's bile for? Okay? If you get a greasy stain on your shirt, okay, what do you add to your laundry to get it out? Not name brand, what is it called? Detergent. What does detergent do? It allows water and oil to mix so the stain comes out of your clothes. Because it's oily stain, you're putting water in the laundry, right? So you need a detergent to emulsify the fat so the stain comes out. What are we 97% made of? 97, 98, something like that. Water. How do we absorb fat? Because what do we know about fat and oil? They don't mix. So guess what? Cholesterol is manufactured into something called bile, which is like detergent, which allows fat to be emulsified so it can absorb through the gut membrane so you can absorb it and get it into your bloodstream. And if you don't have bile, you can't digest fat. And what's your brain made out of again? I forget. It's cholesterol and fat. No more dementia. Yay! Take some statins. It's so good for you. Okay? So it makes vitamin D, estrogen, testosterone, cortisol, and a host of other vital hormones. Okay? HDL, we said that already. Now we know that one already. So LDL is known as the bad cholesterol. At least that's what we're told. That's a lie. Okay? Not true. No such thing. All right. Fat. Let's talk about fat. Let's talk about sugar. Now, fat and sugar end up in the body. Okay? They become triglycerides. If you eat too much sugar, it becomes a triglyceride, and fat becomes a triglyceride. The triglyceride enters the liver, and the liver becomes HDLs and LDLs. According to what you've been taught, the LDLs are the bad guys that lay down all the fat in the blood vessels, right? And cause arteriosclerosis and hardening of the arteries. And the HDL is the good guy who picks it up and hauls it away, right? Isn't that what we were taught? Also not true. Okay? See, isn't it crazy? How many people have done the Healthy Heart program before? Okay? Is this new? A lot of this stuff? It's crazy. I mean, it's always new stuff. So check this out, okay? It's not the fat and cholesterol that gives us heart disease. Brian, I need you. You think? Ryan, hello?
Brian went home.
Are you?
No, he's there.
You better be kidding.
Yo, Brian.
Ryan! Hello!
Come on, Brian.
Amanda! I need that to play. Yeah, she probably heard me, I'm so loud. Did you get it to run? This is a really cool video.
Yeah.
Get there. Yeah, it really looks great, huh?
Yeah.
It's all black and stuff.
It's that LDL stuff, right?
Yeah, sort of. Okay, now the whole idea is there's two screens right now, okay? One of the screens is over here, you have to click on to make that one work, but it's over here on this side. And this is part of the testing part that I do every time before a program, that I told you to do, remember?
I can't tell if he's teaching us or teaching them.
I'm doing both. Okay. Okay, let's skip it. Okay, can't make it go. So we'll make it rock, okay? So let's talk about this production of these LDLs and HDLs and all those things, okay? Now there's something called ApoB, okay? Now, inside the liver, the body takes cholesterol, it takes triglycerides, and it takes fat, puts it inside of a lipoprotein, which is called an LDL, HDL, and these other types. The outside candy coating has a little tail on the end, okay? Now that tail that's hooked on the end of an LDL, that's what this guy talks about, but it's more cool when he says it, okay? And that tail mimics fibrinogen, okay? So fibrinogen is a molecule that causes fibrosis and scarring. LDLs have this ApoB with a little tail on the end that hooks into fibrinogen sites on your blood vessels and causes them to plug and become scarred up, which causes them to narrow, which causes hardening of the arteries. Did I mention cholesterol at all? I didn't, because it wasn't cholesterol. Cholesterol is inside that. When it cracks open, there's cholesterol all over the inside lining of the blood vessel, but it's the little tail that mimics fibrinogen that causes the actual thickening of the artery that causes the narrowing of the blood vessel. It's not cholesterol. And yet that's what we've been taught. Right? So what they do, bypass surgery after they've already had a heart attack, which is a complete waste of time because the heart muscle's already dead. Are you with me? Okay, so continuing on. So it's not the actual fat inside, it's the candy coating on the outside that causes the marker of heart. And ApoB is the best biomarker for heart disease, and nobody runs it. Why? Because it's the #1 biomarker for heart disease. I don't know. They should start reading their own research. I'm just kind of saying. Okay? So, we want to unclog this candy coating. What is the thing that unclogs the candy coating? Garlic and, you ready? Everybody say it out loud. Ready? Say it, keep going. B complex, B complex, B complex, B complex. It's B vitamins. Yeah, I think it's B vitamins that do that. So guess what? That's probably, I think that's #1 or 2 on your list. Because this is the most important thing you can do for your heart to protect heart disease from thickening and hardening of the arteries. Make sense? So the question is this: should I lower my cholesterol? Okay? Every single thing the body does is the body doing the right thing at the right time. Because of things that we've done, the body has to react to that in one way or another. So elevated cholesterol is usually a sign of demand. Okay? Cardiologists insist that lowering cholesterol is correlated with reduction of risk of heart attacks. Few say it reduces the risk of mortality. So it may decrease your chance of a heart attack, but it may increase your risk of actually dying from a heart attack. This is from not me, this is an MD.